Okay, today we are going to be finding the area of composite figures. Now you may be asking, what is a composite figure? A composite figure is a shape that is made up of more than one shape. For example, here we have a rectangle and a triangle on the side. In order to find the area of composite figures, we actually have to divide the figure into shapes that we know. Okay, so before we do that, let me put some numbers on here so we'll know what we're dealing with. Let's say this is 10 feet. Across the bottom is 20 feet. Across the top is 12 feet. And I think that's all we would need to know to find that particular shape. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to divide it into the two shapes we know. So I'm going to draw a line right there and divide that into the rectangle and the triangle. So let's start with the rectangle. Rectangle, to find the area of rectangles, that's length times width. It's one of the easiest ones we do. So you simply take the length and multiply by the width. Now, we've got a 12 up here and a 20 down here. The 20 is for the entire length of the figure. We only want the rectangle, so that would be the 12 times the 10. So the area of this part is 120 square feet. So I'm actually going to put 120 right there, circle it. You don't have to do that, but that's what I like to do. Now, this one is a little trickier. This is a triangle. We know that the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. We've done that one recently. Where are our numbers for this? Well, if we look at the height, that's the same as this 10 over here. This is the trickier one to find. We know that this whole length here is 20 feet, and that this part of it is 12. So what's left over? 20 minus 12 is 8. So this section here is 8. Okay? So if we use base times height divided by 2, we would have 8 times 10 divided by 2. 8 times 10 is 80 divided by 2. 80 divided by 2 is 40. So this section of our composite figure is 20. Now to get the total, it's very simple. Just add your two numbers together. So 120 plus 40 is 160 square feet. So this particular composite figure is 120 square feet. Okay, let's do another one. Let me switch colors so we know that we're on a different problem. And on this particular problem, let's do one that maybe has more than two shapes. So let me see if I can draw this. Now, that's a very unusual shape. Let me put some numbers on that. Use a different color. I'm not sure the pink shows up very good. All right, let's say we have 5 inches there, 10 inches there, 6 inches, 7 inches. We need one across the bottom, so that is 15 inches. And I think that's probably enough to find our shape. So we've got to divide this into shapes we know. Well, we have a couple of options here. We know that this is a triangle here. That's the easy decision. Over here, we could do a big rectangle here and a smaller one up here, or we could do a big rectangle going down and a smaller one here. It doesn't matter which way you do it. You're going to get the same answer either way. So I'm going to do it this way. Okay, if you had preferred to go across here and figured this area and then this smaller area, that's perfectly fine as well. You have a couple of options there. So let's start with the hardest one. We've got this triangle out here. Okay, so got to figure out the height. Well, the height would be the same as this height here, but we don't yet know that height. So let's look at this side over here. If this is 10, and this part of it here is 6, what does that leave over for here? 10 minus 6 is 4. I can tell I didn't draw this to scale, but that's okay. So if this is 4, that's also 4. Now, we need to find this section here. Well, this whole thing is 15, and we know that from here to here is 5, and from here to here is 7. 5 plus 7 is 12, so this section here is 12. 15 minus 12 is 3. So our triangle has a base of 3, height of 4. So the triangle, base times height divided by 2, which is 3 times 4 divided by 2, or 12 divided by 2, or 6. So all that work, and we got that part. Now that was the hardest part, so we got that over with first. So let's look at the easier parts. We have a rectangle here, 7 by 4. What's 7 times 4? 28. And here we have 5 by 10. We're not going to use this 4 because that doesn't go all the way to the top. We're not going to use the 6 because that's only a small part. We need to find the full length of that side, which is 10. Top is 5. 10 times 5 is 50. So all we got to do now is add up our 3 separate areas to get the total area of this composite figure. So we have 50 plus 28 plus, 6. Almost wrote 4. All right, so that's 14, carry the 1, 6, 7, 8, 84. 84 square inches. All right, I think we better do just one more. Okay, let's do one that's a little more tricky. Let's say this was the shape of a swimming pool, okay? And let's say that our swimming pool was 28 feet by 14 feet. But it had this little section sticking out here that is a trapezoid, and that trapezoid is, look right there, crossed this little section, 6 feet, and it sticks out 2 feet. And across this little section is 4 feet. Okay, so we kind of already have it divided into 2 shapes, don't we? Big rectangle, small trapezoid. Okay, so let's start with the easy one. Big rectangle, 28 times 14. I'm going to use my calculator because I don't want to make a mistake on that. And I get 392 square feet. So that's 28 times 14 equals 392. Now, I'm actually going to redraw this trapezoid so we can see it a little better. Okay, I'm going to position it out here. Oops, make that a little bit better. I'm going to turn it on the more traditional side of the trapezoid. So this 6 feet is right here along the bottom, 4 feet on the top, and what is our height? 2 feet. Okay, so who remembers how to find the area of a trapezoid? Well, let's go over that again. The area of a trapezoid equals the height times base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2. All right, let's fill in the information. The height is 2. Got to add our two bases together. 4 plus 6. And divide by 2. Okay. Now, if we remember how to do cross-canceling, we could show that the 2's are going to cancel. 2 divided by 2 is 1. But let's just do this out the regular way, just so we aren't confused. 4 plus 6 is 10. Bring down our 2's. 2 times 10 is 20. Divided by 2, which leaves 10. And that is this section right here. Don't forget, we've got to add our two numbers together. So we have 392 plus 10, 402 square feet. Composite shapes. Divide the shapes into more familiar shapes. Do each part separately. Add them together to get your total.